Alright, I'm here at Thompson Park on the east end of Toronto in Scarborough, and I want to test out some new cycling infrastructure that they added and some parts they just fixed. So you should be able to get from Thompson Park here to the waterfront trail all on bike paths and bike lanes kind of infrastructure. So this is the main parking lot off of Brimley. So now we're heading east. We're gonna kind of zigzag our way through a few different parks and end up at the lake. This is my first ride of 2023 outside. So I'm kind of getting back to it, getting used to riding again. Everything feels like new again. It's been, I think my last ride was early December, I think December 9th. I have to check on my Strava, but I think it was something there. So I haven't been on the bike since then. So if you hear a lot of breathing, you know why. So now we're heading out of Thompson Park, connecting to one of these hydro trails. So we have a lot of the big trails are along the power lines because they can't use that for anything else. So we kind of get lucky in that way. You just gotta navigate a few traffic lights. And the one downside to these is all these traffic lights are timed for cars. So you'll see how long I'm going to be waiting here. So I'm already pressing that button. And we'll be here for a little bit. Nice. Hope you guys got that on camera. The guy just did a wheelie through the intersection. So now it just said on the bottom Meadows Way. These trails have been here around for a while. They seem to just name them different things without doing much work. But we'll get to the new sections a little bit further down. So the sun is gone, but it is fairly warm. I think it's supposed to be a high of 14 Celsius. I'm not really sure how many Fahrenheit that is. 60? 50? As you can see, the power lines are in front, and this space isn't getting used. So they put trails, and then they connect to some of the small little neighborhoods so you can get in and out. It's still a little bit of a hassle to get to some of these if you don't live right by the trail. I have to go on some fairly big roads if I want to bike through there. But they're slowly working on it. I love these little deceiving steep hill signs. Not sure, maybe that's for if you're like fairly new, or yeah. Doesn't look that bad. For anyone interested, I am riding my Jamis Renegade steel gravel bike. I could post a little bike vid that I shot quickly if you guys want to see what it is. But steel bike, carbon frame, carbon seat post, hydraulic disc, tram force, mechanical shifting, another traffic light. Always love the traffic lights. So you can see it's called Gatineau Corridor Recreational Trail. That's the name on that one. So not that bad. We had really odd weather for April. We had one day really hot, and then the next day like below freezing again, and now it's really hot again. Well, not hot, like this is kind of, I think, the typical what should be spring weather. So in some places the stuff on the left is like a city or community garden. I don't know if you have to pay to rent it or you just need to apply. So you get a little plot of land, and then you can do whatever you want with it. A lot of people put vegetables and some fruit and stuff. So I think it's a good use because you have a lot of buildings around here that don't have a backyard, and if they like doing that kind of stuff. This is the one thing I wish they fixed on these trails is Either somehow put sensors before it or make it a little quicker when you get to them, because a lot of the time there's not that much traffic, but you have to wait. This is a good example of how long these lights are to change for pedestrians. So this is where the trail used to end. You used to be able to just go up here to Ellesmere, but now they added a bike lane that keeps going east. It's one of those like bi-directional on one side of the road. Again, we gotta press these buttons. why they don't have the bike at the same time as the pedestrian. There you go. Here's the bike lane. Freshly paved and freshly covered in crap. Also redoing this road on my left called Military Trail. They're adding a bunch of I think they're actually adding a sidewalk and stuff, which we never had. So we'll see how this goes. It looked like it was done, but there's still probably stuff they need to finish. We park this lawnmower on the side. Look at the nice downhill though. Full speed. Sand. It's kind of fun. Are they paving it or is it gravel? I guess they're gonna pave it later, but we got a gravel bike for a reason. I kind of like this, but I'm sure they're gonna pave it because not everybody wants to ride on this chunky stuff. You guys are getting first-hand preview before it's done. So we walked here before and added a bunch of these new bridges. There's a bunch of stuff there, but I don't know where that goes, but I have a bit of an idea where these go. So this is kind of like the northwest part of Morningside Park if you go to the other parking lots. I just hope that this end is open. So they fixed this. I have a video where I ride all that super chunky rock gravel stuff. This was it, and now they flattened it out, put like this crushed limestone. Maybe they'll just leave it like this. I don't mind it like this. So you can see what they've been doing is been putting these giant rocks here and there for like a retaining wall because it was washing it away. They've done more of that in different places just for erosion mitigation. So I'm not 100% sure how they want to continue this, because you can see they're doing construction on the left there, I mean on the right. I'll just go this way, it looks less muddy this way. Damn muddy though. So I'm not sure, it looks like they might do the road and turn that way, but we kind of can bypass it by going through these parking lots. So this is already existing, Morningside. This is if you enter Morningside in the summer, they have it open. In the winter, these parking lots are closed. But if you go all the way to the end, that's kind of weird. So you could just use these roads as a path, but it looks like they might be making a path to connect to the trail, so you don't even need to go on the road here. So you should watch out for deer. We have seen a lot of them here. A woman has told us, I think there's like a family of 15 or 20 of them here. So it's something you got to be on the lookout for. I've seen a few, both walking and biking. Luckily, in more like in time to stop and slow down and let them pass. But something you got to watch out for. So this is the other part. Maybe they opened this already because it's spring. Not sure. And we got the murder geese. Which way are you guys going, Bryce? They're fairly chill for now. They don't have their babies yet. You gotta watch out when the babies come. That's when the trouble starts. So you can see they've been doing some construction even on this road. So look at that. Oh, river crossing. Does this count? Oh yeah, look. The main gate. So this gate is open. In the winter, this gate will be closed. So just keep that in mind if you're driving here. And what they didn't think through is, how do you get from here onto the trail? You gotta go through the grass, which is now mud. But this has been repaved because they use it as a construction holding spot. Okay. Right, and then we're gonna turn left here towards UFT Scarborough. And this has also been redone because it was eroding further down. I'll show you guys the spot, but it's nice. They repaved everything. So that's Morningside above us. So this, I'm not sure. I think this was already had that retaining wall on the side a while ago installed. If you have some film camera or something that looks like it, maybe like a Fuji that looks like a film camera. So this is all brand new. You can see the retaining wall on the side. This fence is all new because it was starting to erode here. So they had this closed for I think 2 years, putting all those rocks. inside here. And if you go left, that's for the U of T Scarborough campus. There's that little zigzaggy trail. So now we already went from Thompson Park, a few little other parks, I don't know if they have names, but so this is Morningside Park. And then we're heading our way into Colonel Danforth Park. And then that park is going to lead us to the waterfront. I hate these birds, look at that lip. Straight ahead is some other U of T stuff. I think they have some tennis courts and like a old house that they have events at. But you can see how bad the river is getting eroded and why they've been fixing it. I'm hoping they redo some of this section of the trail because there's some parts that are pretty bad, beat up, warped. They're starting to get potholes and really almost not even walkable. This one, just easier to go on the dirt because it's all warped. Also, for anyone curious, what I'm shooting with is GoPro Hero 11 Black, and recently I've just been posting these direct to YouTube from the GoPro file because my computer is super old and can't handle the new file formats for now, and I don't want to. It's easier than converting. So I think I have the setting at 4K, 24 frames a second. I think the other stuff is on auto. So what you could do is go straight, and all it does is it loops under the bridge and shoots you out here, but I'm just gonna cross the road like this. I find it a little bit easier. You gotta go up the hill anyways. So like it shoots you right there where that is. But we gotta go across this bridge, and to the right there's a little trail entrance. So no matter what, you gotta go on this little section of the road, which is, I believe, Old Kingston Road. I'll try to post the Strava route. Hopefully it's running. You dropped your I saved that guy's Apple AirPod. He just dropped it on the ground. That's my good deed for the day, I guess. So I'm not sure what this park is called, but we're gonna come out to the trail entrance of Colonel Danforth. Look at how to use gears already. I'm like spinning like to nowhere. This bridge was repaired a couple years ago, but it still looks like it floods. Oh man, I got water everywhere. We got some puppies. Slow down a bit. I wonder if they opened it. So again, for anybody that wants to come here or maybe drive here, there is a parking lot, but they close it in the winter. and I'm not sure if it's open yet because it's like a really steep climb and descent. So I think they don't want to deal with all the headache in the winter. There's a nice little dirt cut path here. It's not very far, so it's kind of fun, but I walked by it and there's a lot of new fallen trees. So my guess is it's still closed because I don't see any traffic. Just follow these guys. You guys have something to look at. You can see the flooding, so we're still in the stages of everything melting. I think all the off-road trails are still mud, unless you find some like high elevation ones that are up in the hills. Maybe they melted, but you can see there's still a lot of water, standing water. Good to see people out. Out and about. It'd be really cool if there's like somebody made it. I don't know how hard it would be to make some of these trails in and around there. So this is Colonel Danforth. So now we are heading south towards the lake. We got houses on the left on the cliff that look like they're about to fall over. I guess they'll worry about that when they worry about it. There's a few sections here that they fixed and put gravel and pushed the trail to the right, where it used to go closer to the lake because it got washed out. Definitely, I think I'm going to feel this tomorrow, not being on the bike for so long. I tried to ride indoors a few times, but it's definitely not the same feeling.
Take your head off.
Yeah. Have a good one. Admiring the tree. Yeah, I definitely don't want to go full speed under that one. I think they will come down and maybe cut it at some point. So see, right here, this one used to go more along the river, and now they kind of made this little gravel section off to the right. Even here is going to look like it started eroding. a lot of since the last time I've been here. We get some heavy rains and stuff, and it just washes and floods everything. A lot of trees down as well. We had some pretty windy days. Usually in the summer this trail is like really busy, so it's kind of nice to get out. First of all, it's like first day of the week, and it's still fairly, some are still closed and the weather isn't exactly great, so it's nice to come out when it's a little bit emptier. And look, we should get the lake in view very soon. I'm gonna get under this bridge, which is for the GO train and Via. There should be the lake in front of us, and you could continue east from here on the waterfront trail. And you can see they're still doing construction on the left. So they're fixing this part of the trail. They used to have this part closed. To fix again the erosion issues right on the waterfront right here. You can see all those rocks. All the rocks on the side are new. Like when they pushed it out into the water. They just opened it a couple months ago. There we go. We're at the lake, riding the waterfront trail from Thompson all the way here. I'm not sure how long it took me. I had to get to Thompson, but we're at around 18.5 kilometers, so I say a little bit under for the total trip from Thompson Park to here, but it's not bad. Avoiding the traffic. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I also sometimes stream my bike rides, so if you want, you could check out my Twitch page. But I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to comment, like, subscribe, you know, all that YouTube goodness. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.